Really amazing. We'll go to the next one. The Godfathers, volume 14, page 1. And I'll let you read this. I'm not going to take the time here, but it's about, talking about Jewish things and stuff like this. He says this guy that was painting on the synagogue, says they own everything, and this story about 6 million Jews being killed is just one more lie made up by the Jewish press. She says, are you saying there was no Jewish Holocaust? Of course there wasn't. It's all a big lie. Well, thank you, Mr. Schmidt. Okay, and again, you get into this whole thing here of people that deny the Holocaust. They try to cover up for the Vatican. They say that the Vatican is not Mystery Babylon. Stephen Anderson, now Ken Hovind, I guess, too. So, gotta watch out for these people. Now, here we have a great description of how, excuse me, I'll just show this here, volume 20, Jesuits. You have a great description of the different types of Jesuits and things that you can help better understand this. Over the next 10 to 14 years, an intensive weeding out process takes place. Candidates are regularly tested and placed in different groups and levels. Okay, you have 4 different classes. You have first class, second class, third class, fourth class. We'll start down here at the fourth class. It has not been decided where these people belong. They too must trust their superior as God and wait up to 14 years for his decision. Their goal is an elite team of the most dedicated men in the world who will do anything for their Jesuit general without thought or hesitation. The Jesuit goal is to make the world serve the Pope by hook or by crook. Third class, approved scholarship. You have still indifferent here. Approved scholars, or scholastics, excuse me. This is a student who promises to lay his future in the hands of his superior, who will decide after 10 to 14 years of study where he will end up in the system, whether he becomes a Jesuit priest or a janitor. He trusts that his superior speaks for God. Then you have second class, the formed coadjutors. There are 2 kinds, spiritual coadjutors. These are lesser priests who can only hear confessions, preach, and teach. Temporal coadjutors. These are at the bottom of the barrel with no spiritual authority whatsoever. They work as cooks, guardians, etc., as long as they live for the greater glory of God. But these guys here, the temporal coadjutors, yeah, they're allowed to live their own kind of little life or whatever. But when they're called upon by the Vatican to do some kind of a whatever, they'll spring to action. That's why they're dangerous. Then you have the first class, the professed. These are priests with S.J. after their names if they want to be known. Only a few of the Jesuits make it to this class. This means that the vast majority of Jesuits are not priests. They take 4 vows: obedience, poverty, chastity, and special obedience to the Pope. Yeah. So there you have the definition of the different types of Jesuits. Okay, now, I believe the majority of the infiltrators are the temporal coadjutors. I think that they're the ones that are trying to infiltrate the Bible-believing movement right now. It's pretty bad. And you say, well, how do we spot these people? Well, I'm going to talk about that real quickly here. What is one of the things that we read about earlier? The Jesuits like to make lists. They want to put people on lists. I'm going to show you here. I was going to do it the low-tech way. I'm just going to use my camera. I got the overhead here and that one there and everything. I don't have Camtasia on this laptop, so I'll just show you this. Scriptures Alone, Bibleschool.net. This is Martin Richling's website. Establishment, and he has the heretic list. I think this is very interesting because he had a whole lot of people on here. But here he has the heretic Stephen L. Anderson. There's me, Bryan Denlinger, Roger Jimenez, Tim Tebow, okay, and William A. Green there, I guess. But notice, it used to be that he had me and Peter Ruckman and a whole bunch of others and things, legitimate teachers, And now it's like I'm the only legitimate teacher on the whole list. .com, this little heretic right here. And check this out. This is his exceptyoubeconverted.com. Now look at all the people he has here. First of all, he starts off easy believism. Major offender. Ed Fenninger. Ken Hovind, Kevin Zacher. Rick Jacoby, Patrick the Baptist, Mark Hunter. Stephen Anderson, James Bartlett, and Jack Hyles. James should not be in this list. Give me a break. David Fleming, David Stewart. You have hyperdispensationalism Ruckmanites. Okay. I'm not sure who Josh Cohen is. Little message there. Greg Miller. That guy looks dangerous, doesn't he? Look at that guy. Bryan Denlinger. We'll have to avoid him there, boy. He's a dangerous one. Peter Ruckman, Robert Breaker, Doug Stauffer, and Jim Beckwith. Hey, congratulations, Brother Jim. You're on the list. Now we have mid post-trib rapture, offenders, Brian Mooney, Jason Cooley, Sam Adams, Alex's name, I don't know. And here we have open theism. These guys, I don't even know who these people are. Major offender. Oh, what is this now? This is a conditional security. Okay. I've heard of this guy. He's pretty heretical. So is this one here. And she's just a charismatic wingnut. This Brandon Potter guy. And it's ironic because Brandon Potter actually sent us pornographic images through the mail. You know, I don't know what his little game was there, but whatever. Weirdo. He's been banned from my channel. But here you have the Repentance Blacklist. This is Stephen Anderson's website. And they have Anderson and Jack Hyles together. Jack Hyles, the habitual fornicator, mind control expert. I have whole videos on Jack Hyles exposing him. And then there you have the Blacklist. And no-name repentance preachers. I'm still not on the list. I've requested a couple times to be put on the list. It kind of upsets me. And he has his own little thing of how to win souls or whatever. But again, you have heretic lists. Isn't that what the Jesuits were doing? Lists of people making lists and things and whatever. And there was another guy on my channel, and you got to watch out for this type of stuff. And I forget what his name was, King James Believer or something like this. And for a while I thought, oh, he looks legitimate, and supposedly he was a logger in Pennsylvania. And yet it was always it always bothered me. I'd see he'd be posting comments at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning and things in the middle of the week, and I'm going, I wasn't logging very, very long, but while I was in logging, I was usually out cutting timber, at 9 or 10 a.m. I wasn't posting comments on videos on YouTube. It just kind of bothered me. And, I saw this thing over and over again of he was starting to ask more and more strange questions, weirder questions all the time. And after a while, it was just finally I did my thing about the satanic agenda of television. And I noticed that he was just replying to every single person, trying to undermine what I was saying. I mean, you can disagree with me. That's fine. That doesn't make you a Jesuit temporal coadjutor or Jesuit or something. You can disagree with me. That's fine. But when I see people, and they're just writing to every single person, undermining what I'm saying, that's a problem. What they'll try to do is they'll try to get you into the new versions. They'll try to undermine the authority of the King James Bible because the new versions are based upon the Nestle's text. Nestle's text, one of the board of editors was a Jesuit cardinal, Carlo Maria Martini. So they will head towards the Nestle's text. That's one way you can see a Jesuit infiltrator. They will be into replacement theology, saying that the Jews in Israel are no more, they're corrupt, they're wicked, whatever else. It's the church, that has replaced them. They'll be post-trib, pre-wrath, mid-trib, whatevers. They'll posties. They'll be into that. That's another big one. They will confuse who Mystery Babylon is in Revelation 17 and 18. They'll do that one. Of course, it's very important for them because Revelation 17 is a terrible indictment of Roman Catholicism. And it's a reminder to the Roman Catholic system that they're going to be destroyed in the future. That's why their little agents want to get people's attention away from that and say, oh, it's America or it's wherever. They don't want people thinking about it being the Vatican, being paid back for all the evil that they've done. So they'll hit a couple different spots, you know, of like the CCM stuff. They'll do that. They'll bring that in a little bit too. The Jesuit infiltrators. So we just need to be really careful of infiltration coming into our circles. We need to really pray. Be very careful who you believe down in the comments section, because there's a lot of Jesuit infiltrators out there. So I believe that is going to be it for this video. Please, please, please keep us in your prayers, because we are getting attacked, as you've seen, right from Alberto's comic books. You know, when you have people coming out saying you're being too controversial, take it easy on the Catholics, you know, whatever, you don't have enough love. Those are statements of Jesuits. And where do you draw that line between people who have been brainwashed by the Jesuits and just repeat things that the Jesuits teach them, and actual Jesuits that are trained to say these things? I don't know. It's hard to draw that line. But we're going to close for now, and have some other very interesting videos that I want to come out with here. So I gotta quit. Getting really tired right now. Having a hard time keeping my eyes open.